we call them veterans, and we thank them gratefully. But they come from New York State and California too, from the Midwest and the Heartland and the South, the red, white, and blue, the Pacific and Atlantic states, and all across this land. Their roots are deep and varied, but they're all Americans. So when you see a soldier, or a sailor, or Marine, and when you stand among them, those who serve so strong and free.
Hours that you work that day and your pay. And there was like a little pink sheet that and I saved 4 years of voucher sheets. I had a big pile, a couple boxes, and so one time I decided, well, I'm going to get a SAG card.
So you have to have so many vouchers.
All I
to
needed
get
was
a card?
3 at that time.
Okay.
But you can get a SAG card sometimes if you're on the set and they like what you're looking like and they want you to be in their show all the time, and you just luck out, or you're friends with somebody, and then they'll let you get in.
So just because you have a SAG card, you're eligible for other roles, but not necessarily, right? That doesn't automatically mean you're going to get a bigger role or a better role.
Well, no, they kind of type you that you're that type. You look that age, and you could play that kind. I was in a lot of Disney shows, so I kind of looked fresh and cute and everything, and so then I was in a lot of Disney shows.
Yeah, did you play opposite Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck or any of those guys?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I should have.
All right,
But I was in with Steve Martin and Diane Keaton and Barbara Hershey, and some big stars.
Yeah. So when, of course, like I say, we're going back a few years.
Yeah. 91.
You spent, or you would get $5 or $7 as an extra, but once you became a SAG member, did the rates go up significantly?
Yes, I was about 157 at that time, and I think I worked one time, and I thought, well, I am tired of waiting around all day for them to shoot me for 5 minutes or talk to everybody for 4 hours a day or a night, stay up all night, and I was just bored with waiting around. Mm-hmm. So I quit being I thought, well, I'll just be a member, and in case I ever want to go back to it, because I always wanted to be a comedian, and I thought I could do a one-woman show. I was going to be on television, HBO, anything. They didn't have HBO at that time. But, I thought I could always use it. It was there for me. So I paid membership from 91 till about 2005.
And at that time, or as of 2005, how much was membership?
Oh, it was like $75
a year.
A year. Uh-huh.
Oh, very good, very good. So we're going to move into some of your writing work now. I know you've written a book about children whose family members may be in the hospital. Can you hold that one up for us?
Yes. Yes, this is based on my husband, who had a heart attack. Well, first he had a heart attack, then he had diverticulitis. So we took him to the hospital, and as a very health thing for me to be doing was drawing. So I drew all the nurses, and I drew the story about him going to the person going to the hospital. And the boy is the child. His name is Jonathan, and he thinks that he caused his grandfather to be hospitalized. So he blames himself. So it talks about what his grandfather went through, and all the nurses and doctors and the hospital procedure a little bit from a child's perspective. So this is what this is, a happy ending.
And what's the name of the book?
It's called Someone I Love is in the Hospital. Grandpa is in the hospital.
And it's written strictly by Esther Pearlman
Yes.
yourself.
Oh, no, actually it's co-written
Oh.
because I have kind of a whimsical nature and I like to write, but I do need some organization. So Melody Melody Gerard, she co-wrote it and she made it more cohesive as a story. But she loved my pictures and we took a number of pictures and we picked them out for the
And
book.
you did the artwork?
I did all the artwork.
Can we hold the cover up again and let everybody see that? And that's your grandfather and his grandfather and his grandson.
It's all pretend story, but it's
Uh-huh.
based on my husband.
Okay.
I did give him credit for
Very
being in
good.
the hospital.
Okay. And then I want to talk about one other book you did about chopped liver for the soul or something like that?
Yes, chopped liver for the family spirit. It was like a chicken soup kind of book about various famous people that wrote about 1,500 words, and they put it together in this very nice book. And so this was a story about
some
myself.
very famous names from show business from some years ago.
Yes,
What
but
are
they're
some of
still
the more,
famous.
What are some of the more famous names there?
Peter Marshall and
Shelley Berman?
Shelley Berman, yes.
Okay.
and who else was there?
Lloyd Thaxton? Was
Lloyd
an
Thaxton.
old TV
Remember how
star
great
from,
he was?
Back in the day.
Yes, he was fantastic.
Uh-huh.
So there's some very famous people that were in this, that they had something that happened to them that changed their lives, that they became very happy with whom they became.
And I see that's your picture on the cover there.
Yes, one of the things that I was able to do is purchase, send my 1,500 words in, and I have my picture, and that's all I had to do. And they've included me in this book that I happened to be with some famous people.
Uh-huh, very good.
So that was very impressive for me.
Okay. So talking about famous people, let's talk about, I know you've kind of living in Hollywood and being in the movies and being an author and being an artist and being so avant-garde and whatnot. You've met many, many famous movie stars and actors and whatnot. Tell us a few of the encounters that you've had.
Well, I was at Dutton Bookstore showing my brother this watercolor book, and Dustin Hoffman happened to go by, and he was buying a book called Learn Spanish for the Dummies, or the Dummy Book. You remember,
Okay,
everything
yes.
for that. So, and I was listening to his voice, and I didn't quite recognize him. And then I thought, oh, I kind of know who that is. So he went by me, and I think he wanted to be recognized. So I said to my brother, I said to Dustin, I said, aren't you Dustin Hoffman? And he said, yes, I am. And I said, aren't you the girl in Chicago in the back room? I said, no, I'm not. So then I introduced him to my brother and me, and then he shook my hand. He was very polite.
Did he buy your book?
No,
No.
he just said goodbye.
Oh,
But
Dustin.
I got excited
Dustin.
about talking to him.
Dustin, go back and buy that book. Shame on you.
Yes,
Okay,
that was a
and,
nice idea.
Who else? Anyone else?
One
you want
time,
to talk about?
I was at the Marriott Hotel in New Jersey, and I was taking pictures of these beautiful flowers that were outside of the hotel, and I thought, oh, this guy coming up to me, I said, could you take a picture of me and the flowers? And so I'm trying to tell him how to work the camera, and he's pointing. I said, aren't you somebody important? Aren't you a movie star? And he said, yes. He says, how do you work this thing? And so he did take the picture of me, and then he was Roy Schneider.
Roy Schneider in
Yes.
New Jersey, of all
Yes,
places.
that was.
I see. You
Yes.
think he was out looking for sharks or something
Yes,
on the Jersey Shore? you
yes,
know?
he was. He was.
Yeah.
He was very famous
Uh-huh. Okay.
at the time.
And I think you met Dr. Was it Dr. Kildare or one of the TV doctors, Richard
Yeah,
Chamberlain?
yes. Well, what the greatest thing to do is when you go to a Q&A question for all these movie stars, they always have either their old movie or their new movie. So there's usually a long line at Aero Theater in Santa Monica. And I waited in the line, And then, of course, I didn't get in quite. And then somebody said, "Oh, you can go in. Go ahead." So I got in.
You
And
kind of gave them a real sad look.
Yeah,
and
I
like, oh
did,
no,
so-
I waited all day, and
Yeah,
they said,
so-
okay, go on, right?
yeah, if you wait long enough, sometimes if you look sad enough. So then, so after his Q&A and his movie that he showed, I waited. I took my camera, and I went down on the theater stage, and I asked him to take a picture with me, and he did. So that's what I did. I took a number of pictures like that with some famous people.
Famous people, and you put some of them in some of your other books. I
Yes, yes. Esther Unleashed is a book that has it in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Very
it was
good,
very
very
nice.
good.
They were very polite about it, and they even appreciated me asking. Some people had their albums of their or you know, or record albums or different things that they had done, you know, and
Sure.
and they were kind enough. But some of them were, you know, in a hurry. After they did the movie, they just left, and I was just waiting all that time.
Uh-huh.
So, but anyway, I got a number of them,
Excellent, excellent.
as though I'm a friend of theirs. So, but they were polite to me.
And you've
And I always give them my book to them. So then I thought, if they want to make a movie, they can use my book.
well, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Did so as we finish up here our last few minutes, I want to briefly talk about on occasion you've been known to do some stand-up comedy, and of course right now you're sitting down, so maybe you could do some sit-down comedy
Okay.
and throw a couple of jokes at us here.
Okay. Hello, I'm Esther Pearlman, the Mini Pearl of the West. You might know her if you're old enough. Anyway, so I went through 4 years of braces, 1 year retainers, 1 year gum work, and now my teeth will outlive me. I did extra work, TV, film, anything within reason. You might have seen me in Father of the Bride, which I talked to you about. Well, Father of the Bride was Steve Martin, and he actually didn't want me to talk to him, but I tried to talk to him because he looks like such a friendly guy.
Yes.
But he's not the same person. He's a serious person.
I thought he was a wild and crazy guy.
Yes, a while he was. He looks like he is. It is fun. But when he's talking and he's doing this business, he said to me, "You know, lady, I don't know you." So then that made me feel bad. But I was wearing a gown and I was in the movie. So what happened was somebody else came up. Another patient thought I was another patient, and she asked me to pray for her child. So I did. So that was with him.
Okay, well that's those are some.
And Diane Keaton too. You know, she was very beautiful in Father of the Bride, and I kept going back and forth 100 times. Finally, I said to her, "You know, I really like your dress." Of course, you were not supposed to talk to any of the extras or the big stars.
Big stars.
And she said, "Oh, they did all this for me," and they even put me in the reception part. And I saw the movie on TV recently, and I was not in the whole movie.
They
So it
just
was
cut your scenes.
yeah,
all
all
at
my
night.
clothing. 2 weeks of going back and forth all over the church, and
Yeah.
and,
Well, you can still see those, but they're on the cutting room floor. You have to go and pick them up. See?
yeah, I had that blue dress. I wore that for 3 weeks, I think.
Okay. Well, Esther, I want to thank you for enlightening us about how to get in the show business. You run down to Central Casting, and by the way, I don't know if you know this. I don't know where Central Casting was when you went there, but I know that they've relocated in Burbank to,
Is
to
it?
an office next to the freeway. I've been by there a few times.
Oh, great. Did you
And,
talk about my art, too? You didn't know?
No, well,
Another time.
that's okay. Yeah, but I was going to say about SAG, the Screen Actors Guild. Recently, they merged with AFTRA, the Federated Artists or whatever they used to be. So now it's one big union. So I don't know where their headquarters is, but they're all in sunny California. So thanks for visiting us in Southern Nevada, and we'll talk with you again maybe in a year or two. Maybe you'll be on the big screen and you can tell us how things worked out. You might get a Nobel Prize for one of your books, or Pulitzer Prize or whatnot.
So that'd be nice.
And we'll pick up the story from there. So seriously, Esther, thanks very much. If you have some final words to say, go ahead.
No matter what, no matter how much you feel bad, just pick yourself up and start all over again and try for a better day.
Thank you.